Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to the Smash Controllers podcast. Today we have special guest Yoyocam in the building. Give it up for Yoyocam, everybody.
Appreciate you having me.
Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and start this off with a story time. I was supposed to, we were supposed to have, I was supposed to have a drawing session with Cam maybe about 2016, 2017. But I wasn't able to make it, and so I kind of missed out on it. But I wanted to reschedule, and at that time, I had lost my Instagram page, and I lost all like everything, and I was so devastated. And look at it now. About let's say 10 years later. 10 years later,
Yeah, that's like a whole era. Like,
that's what it ain't 10 years, a decade.
yeah,
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 a whole
10
decade
years.
later.
Whew. Yeah,
Uh, Damn, man, what's been how are you doing today before we get started?
man, I'm doing all right today. It's one of them types of things. I've had a feel of like trying to figure out how to go through life as peacefully as possible,
Mm-hmm.
and I was learning that life or a peaceful life isn't about not having bad days, but it's about knowing that bad days are coming
Mm-hmm.
and being able to just sit with them and be okay with them.
Right.
And so that's what I'm doing today. It's like even in times where it's uncomfortable, even in times where it's not doing quite the best,
Mm-hmm.
you still just be thankful for the day itself and be thankful for the things that are going right.
Sure.
And even though today hasn't been the greatest, I've been excited all day about the podcast. So
Man,
I'm
y'all
happy to
hear
be
that?
here.
He was come on, he was excited, I appreciate that. And I appreciate the wisdom. I don't wanna zoom past that because you took the pacifist route. You could have been a renegade, but you was like, you know what? We're gonna be cool about it. And
Yeah, man.
I completely understand that. But I'm on it today. Normally, before we get started, before I give you those questions, I like to ask guests normally when it's video game related out, what's your first video game memory? What's like the first game that made you rage? But since I'm not saying you don't play video games, but I know you more for art, I'm gonna try to
Mhm.
switch it up. What's your first memory of drawing? Like when's the first time you had like a pencil in hand drawing, and what's like a piece that made you like super frustrated,
So
like trying to
first memory,
complete that you did maybe didn't complete.
I have an answer for all three of those,
Okay.
and one of them is really early, one's in the middle, and one happened like just a week ago.
Okay.
So for the first memory, the earliest memory I can think of, it was I remember I drew. Do you know the Pokemon Meryl, the little round like mouse Pokemon, the little
Hmm.
water one?
Yeah.
I remember I drew a drawing of Meryl, and it was like I was like coming home from school, and I used to just draw on like regular line paper and stuff like out of the notebook, and I just remember drawing this Meryl on a paper, and I remember being so happy about it.
Mm.
Like I can't even remember how old I was. It had to be like you know 5 because I
Hmm.
was in school. That's the earliest one. I know I was drawing before that, but the earliest memory I can really think of about drawing was was that moment, just having it on the table. And I remember going upstairs, put my book bag down, and I came back downstairs, and it was this glob of something on the paper over the marrow. And I'm like, what is this? Like, what happened? Like, I'm tripping. I'm like, this is this weird little glob of substance on the paper.
Hmm.
And turns out my sister had eaten some kind of like tuna sandwich or something. Something in it didn't taste right, and she spit it out on the paper on
Oh
the
my
top of the
God.
mirror. And I just remember being so hurt because I was like, that was, I think, a time where I was really happy with what I drew. It was
Hmm.
probably like one of the first times where I was like really, really hyped with what I drew.
Mm.
And then like it just got devastated. I don't know what happened. Like, but that one was probably my earliest memory of drawing. I remember also going with my friends in like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, and we used to just make comics. We would have our own individual characters. They were like funny characters too. There
Hmm.
was one of my friends had a dude named Square Man, and he was just He was a cube with like buff arms and legs. And he was like essentially like Goku, but like a cube. And he would be fighting these enemies. I had a character called Log Bomb. And it was like this log. It was basically a log, like in Naruto, the little substitution log.
Yeah.
Basically like one of those with some legs and like explosive powers. And he used to be able to like pull bombs out of like the leaf on his head or something. And we used to draw those things all the time. And we would go home and we would make all kinds of stories and how, you know, our characters would fight each other or team up or whatever, and we bring them back and we show each other. And I think those formed those really early drawing skills and essentials that I still have, like that love for character design, that love for storytelling, the love for like sharing with people. Cause like I'm drawing it partially for me, but because I know I'm gonna be at school and I'm gonna show what's the name tomorrow, how he just took down, you know, he just stopped a train with, you know, Square Man's help or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was like really thankful for those times because I still have a few of those comics like in old sketchbooks, and I'll go back and I'll look at some of the ideas I had, and I was like, the panels weren't all that great, but the ideas I think were pretty solid. Like,
Okay.
if I put a fresh coat of paint on some of these, they might be kind of
Yeah,
nice.
they probably go today for real.
And then
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and then one that I couldn't quite finish is I had a mural 2 weeks ago. I was a part of a mural festival in Chattanooga, and it's called Burning Bridges. It's led by the artist Seven. His name is Seven, and really good mural artist. And he invited me out to paint there, but I had another job to do that same day. And I only had from it was from 11 to 4, the first job. And then I was basically going to come back out there after the job and try to paint the mural in that one day. But then it started raining at 9. At 9 p.m., it started raining bad. Like, not even the kind of rain you can kind of shrug off. No, it was like coming down.
Yeah.
And so I only had like 4 hours to try and paint this whole mural. And I got a considerable amount of the mural done, but I just couldn't quite get it all finished because it was already like coming down, just like heavy, and I had to be home that night too. So I ended up just having to leave. But I am coming back for Redemption. I'm going up there on Saturday to go and finish it. But it's funny because the piece I painted is about dissatisfaction. It's a big scorpion, and it's like the sting that comes with dissatisfaction.
Okay.
And so it's like, how funny of this painting to teach me dissatisfaction as I paint it. It's just frustrating, but it is what it is.
Hey, look at that. Life be funny like that sometimes, don't it?
Yeah.
You know, as you were describing, like the chat says, as you were describing, like, you know, drawing comics and stuff as a kid, I was like, me too, designing my own characters. I remember just like making, like, turning Smash Bros into like Smash Bros Mario Party, because waiting for like the second game to come out, it's like, it's taking too long. I'm gonna make my own. So you like really took me down memory lane with that one. But when you're creating, what's your creative process like? If you can kind of share, if you don't want to give away your secret, I understand, but if you could like maybe just give us a little insight on what it's like for Cam to create something. Like,
Yeah, I'm not about the gatekeeping and the secrets and stuff. I feel like if you got to hide the secrets, then you're only as good as the secrets, you know? And so, I don't know, I don't like to hide those types of things. But my process really, it depends kind of on what I'm making. But in terms of, I know that no matter what it is, I do need like a bit of time to kind of think about what it is that I'm gonna do for whatever. So whether it's a commission from a client, whether it's just something I want to make for fun, or if I'm trying to make merch or like a mural or whatever, I need a little bit of time in between to really think about what it is that I want to draw. And like, I don't know how people can do it where they just kind of like, they all just get together and they can like put on some music and then we just going. I can do that, but it's not gonna be work that I'm like super happy with or that I'm super like I'm not gonna take it home and try to be doing extra stuff with.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like fooling around, doodling, which I can do. But as of recently, I've been trying to kind of put a little bit more into the work. I felt like before my work was like it felt like junk food, where it's like it looks good, like it tastes good,
Yeah.
but there's no nutrition. It's nothing you can kind of take in. People will often come to me and be like, "Man, this is dope. What is it?" Or like what is it supposed to be? And so it's like they can recognize skill, but there's nothing they're connecting with in it. They can't really grasp it. And it works whenever I do like fan art or something because they can they can connect to the character. But when it's just me and the stuff I do, they're like dope. And I was kind of just tired of hearing just dope.
Yeah.
Like there's more to it. Like I got experiences. I'm a
Right.
human being. I could put stuff into the work. So I've been kind of taking time in between to kind of think about how I want to incorporate stuff
Gotcha.
into like my memories or my emotions or
Amber alert on my phone.
I just got the same.
My work phone. Can you turn that light on real quick?
Yeah.
I just got the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like and it'd be like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just wanting to put in more like substance in the work. So I need a second to kind of think about what it is I even want to say. What do I want to pull on? What do I want to communicate? What do I want people to connect with in this piece? And so I'll take a second to do that. And a lot of times I need complete silence for it. Like I'll just go like on a walk, or I might just like chill in my room, or I might just go sit outside or something, or I might write and I'll just sit and just think about what it is. And then from there I can start to mess around with designs. And depending on what it is, I'll probably couple it to, some sort of character, some sort of animal, or like some type of composition. And I'll start to just sketch it out on paper.
Okay.
I still like just drawing on loose paper. Like I have sketchbooks and stuff and I'll use them for convenience, but I think I do my best work just on loose white paper with like a pencil, and I'll just run that. And from there, depending on how far I want to take it, I'll throw it on the iPad and I'll put some colors, some line work on it. And if it's going to be a wall, I'll just leave it there and have it, go on the wall later, either like doodle gridding it, or if I'm projecting it, something like that. Or if it's for a big illustration, then I'll go behind and I'll clean it up and put it out like that. But yeah, it's a pretty simple process. I try to just draw from within,
I got
That's
you.
really what I go.
So it sounds like you gotta you're more of a, because some people just kind of like they're like, oh, I like to sketch and then I'll come back. You sound like you like to map a whole piece out, like like from start to finish. This is what I'm going to draw. This is, and you like put that on paper versus just kind of like, let's turn it into something. I got it now.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it just, I think that it's a lot better or more satisfying to me as of recently whenever I do that, because if not, I end up just playing around with shapes, and that's fun in its own, like, there's a time and place for it for me. But at least just in the season I've been in recently, I've just been trying to put more of myself into my work. And so just doing just regular sketches, just playing around, just hasn't really been cutting it for me recently.
I got you. I completely understand. Let's see. We gotta. What's the process to making a mural or getting into graffiti?
So the process to making a mural. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can get a mural. So there's like for some context, there is a difference between the two things. So graffiti in itself essentially is just when you go and you paint on whatever, you can either do a tag, they call them throwies, they call them pieces, but you basically just mark on like anything, and you don't really do it with permission. You kind of just run it, and that's part of the whole feel of like, you don't get caught and you run off on, just that is that kind of feel. I have wanted to paint a train before, but I'm like, it is the whole risk of like, if I get ran up on by the police and I get in trouble for doing graffiti, like I'm gonna be mad at myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh, I could have literally just put this somewhere else, but I decided to go on this train and get in trouble. But I don't know. I see a lot of people that do those types of things, and I mean, and they kill it, and it's amazing. And so for graffiti, if you want to get into graffiti, you just need some paint and a place, and just kind of and a name to write, and that's kind of how you do that. A mural, it's a little bit different. It's something that is permitted. Sometimes it's commissioned, like where they'll pay you for it. Sometimes it's just permission, maybe for like a festival. They might take care of your paint, or they might just allow you the space, and then you got to handle everything else. But you get like an actual place to do your piece. And most times communities will bring together a number of walls to make a mural festival and bring in a lot of artists to paint different sections of like a building, or just anytime somebody or like a business or a company wants to, they got like a big empty wall and they just want some paint on it. They want to depict something. They want to transform the space. So they reach out to a mural artist and they're like, hey, can you do something for us? And so then you go back and forth with this person and you kind of just talk about how you, like, what do you want it to do?
Okay.
What do you want it to look like? What do you want to put into the design? All these different things. And so then after that, you get into doing your sketch, and then you start, once you get the sketch approved with your person, with your client, then it's time to shop for paint. And then once you get the paint, man, you're ready to go.
Okay.
And you go out there, and there's different ways of transferring the image. And so there's some people, they just go and they freehand it, and they just put it up on the wall. Some people just got it like that. There's some people who will grid it out with, like, they'll measure lines and they'll like overlay an image on top of a picture of like this grid, and they try to map it out that way. A more common and modern way of doing it is the doodle grid. So instead of doing like the different lines measured out, they just make a bunch of random shapes. And that in itself is the grid. And they do the same process of like putting your sketch over a picture of the wall with all the symbols, and you can kind of map out where you want to, where certain things are on the wall. And then other people just project it. So they'll take a projector and they'll just shine the image on the wall and you just trace it. And then it becomes a paint by numbers at that point. It just becomes like, fill that shape in with this, and you're just filling in shapes until it's done. And there's always a bunch of, well, not always, but a lot of times, especially when you're getting into it, there's incidentals. Whether it's crazy weather, whether it's a weird situation with your floor, maybe it's on a hill, maybe to get close to the wall, there's like a spot in the ground where it's like a hole, or the ground is really soft and the ladder can't stand up correctly, or you might have a wasp nest at the top of the joint, or maybe maybe it's indoors and you can't spray paint because you don't want to get overspray on the furniture, or you don't want to smoke out everybody in the house.
Right. Wow.
And I mean, it's all different kinds of incidentals that you can run into, but it's part of the fun of muraling. I think every muralist has experienced the incidentals and having to figure something out on the fly. And I think we all just agree that it's part of the process, and it's part of the fun. Because when you finally get it done, you're like, man, that was great, and I can actually do this again. And then you have like this fun story that you can tell people of, like, oh man, I had to do this and this, and I can't believe this. Like, my first mural, it was in a stairwell, and it was like 23 feet up, and all I had was an 18-foot ladder, or like a 16-foot ladder, and I couldn't quite get up to the top all the way. And so I had to I remember my dad was helping me too. It's crazy to think about. We had a ladder, and because it's a ladder, like on the, a ladder is like flat on the ground, but the stair, it's like one step is higher than the other. So we had like a sketchbook or something on one side, and then like a cinder block and something else on the other side, and like put the ladder on top of the two. And then I'm like way up at the top of the ladder, and like I can't even. I mean, I'm up on the wall, like I'm on it, and
Yeah.
I can't even reach up to kind of go back, because if not, I'm falling
Yeah.
18 feet, you know. And so it's just crazy to think about some of the stuff that like you have to do to get the job done. But
Yeah.
whenever it's done, and when you survive, it's like it's a funny story, but it's crazy in the moment.
Yeah. You gotta have a lift for that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that was the first mural, and I didn't know what I was doing. In retrospect, I would have definitely got a mural, or I would have definitely gotten some scaffolding, or I would have just designed lower. Like I would
Yeah.
have just took it lower in the design and just be like, look, we can't quite get up there, but I was like, yeah, we can definitely just
Yeah.
put the ladder on the cinder block. Easy. What I had going
The
on.
reward outweighed the risk at that point.
Yeah.
How do you know a piece is done for you? Like when you're working, or like you be like, all right, either you gonna whatever, upload it, whatever, but I'm done touching it.
So I always say it's when I can sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's always something that I could be doing. There's always a little something like, and it's like the more I look, the more I see.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, okay, like this, can I go home and sleep peacefully? And if the answer is no, I have to go fix whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if the answer is yes, then like cool.
Okay.
And if I have any extra, like, okay, I could sleep with this, but I still need to, I want to be able to do this, or I want to drive it a little further, and I will. But yeah, as long as I can, like, if I can walk away from this and be peaceful in my mind, I'm cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a person that because I know there's certain people that don't experience a like art block, and there are people that get art block all the time. Are you anywhere on that spectrum, or where would you be on that spectrum? And how do you deal with it? I'm sorry.
In terms of art block, I've definitely gotten it. I've definitely had times where I'm like, I want to draw, but I can't. Or like I don't have any good ideas. Nothing's cool enough just yet. And I remember listening to a video by Jake Parker, and he was explaining it. He explained it really well. He called it having a creative bank account.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially it is your creativity is almost like a well, like a vessel that holds certain stuff. And as you live life, as you have other experiences, as you travel and just go do stuff, other things, it's like getting things into your creative bank account. And every time you make a purchase, that's like when you draw, when you make a painting, when you're sketching, when you're like making purchases. And so if you ever find yourself in a place where you can't quite do anything, or like you want to draw, but you don't really, you can't quite make it happen, it's probably because your creative bank account is empty. And so you need to fill it up with just doing other things. And so yeah, that's usually I'll go and I'll just do other stuff. I'll go hang with friends, or I'll try to just find some sort of event in the city, or just play the game, or just something. And I'll try to pull from those experiences. And that's kind of how I get through it. But sometimes you get the blocks and you don't have the luxury or the time to like go and, oh, like I don't feel like drawing, but I'm just gonna hang with a friend. It's like, no, this is due tonight.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do now? And I think for those, I do what I can. Like I try to take small steps. Like, okay, I can't do the whole piece right now, but what can I do right now? And it's like, well, I can get the rough sketch. And so then once I get the rough sketch, I'll give myself a break, maybe like 30 minutes, an hour or something, and then I'll go and like watch an episode of whatever, or I'll go and eat something, or I don't know, just do something else. And then I just try to like nurse it. Like I'll give it little baby steps and say, okay, now when I come back, I don't have to do the whole thing. I just have to clean up the sketch. And then you clean up the sketch, you'll take another break.
Yeah.
Come on back. And okay, now I just have to do the colors. Okay, cool. And then I'll kind of like inch it like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I answered another question, like, cause I have a bad habit of wanting to finish or do a majority of a piece in one sitting, and I try to get out of that. I've tried to break away from that because it'll lead me to, well, I don't have time to finish it, so I shouldn't even start it, and
Mhm.
I had to get away from that. Hearing that, I was like, okay, well, take care of that.
Yeah, it makes sense because in your brain it's like, well, if I can't finish it all, why even start? Like it
Yeah,
feels like it's a waste of time. Like why would I even start if I know for a fact I'm not gonna finish it? It's kind of like running yourself into disappointment.
right,
It's like why would you do that? And but I think that like if you could just break it down into pieces, then that way it's like, okay, my objective isn't to finish the whole piece. My objective is to get the rough sketch.
right.
And like that's what I can do. And so then you run that and it's like, okay, it was actually a success this
Mhm.
time. And then like if you can just treat each piece as like the success, you can kind of trick your brain into like doing the whole thing, but it might just take a little longer,
Yeah,
but it does get done.
yeah, for sure.
And with certain pieces, it does. I think that it's better to separate them or to kind of space them out because I'll find that pieces that you do all in one go, like they'll look so good, but whenever you're spacing these things out,
Mhm.
you kind of take the time to kind of think of other ideas, and you're like, you know what, that would have actually been crazy if I did it this way
Right.
instead. Where had you done it all yesterday, it wouldn't have looked like that,
Yeah,
you know.
definitely. No, I get that. That's why you the profession.
It's a lifestyle.
Mhm.
It's not always easy, but
Mhm.
yeah, I've
Well,
just learned a lot through a lot of struggles.
I get that. Have you well not have, but like what's like a moment dealing with art where you kind of like maybe it changed something in your life? Like maybe you were able to get paid for like, oh, I can get paid to start drawing or get paid to, do this and that, or knowing how to draw opened this avenue for me that may otherwise not have been open. Like what's a like a kind of like a breakthrough moment art has given you?
A breakthrough art.
Maybe breakthrough is not the right word, but
Well, I think if I understand the question correctly, it is basically like kind of like something that like a game changer or like an
yeah,
epiphany kind of feel.
yeah,
Um, I think that hmm, this one's interesting because I feel like I have these a lot, but then it's time to recall one, and they all run away.
it's all right. It be like that
Uh,
sometimes.
let me see. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, for
Let me
sure.
try to remember.
Cause I remember back. Well, I remember back in high school. I drew. It's gonna sound so cliche, but I drew like it's like two pair of Jordans and some legs, like insinuating like a kiss. And somebody was so moved by it. They was like, I love it. I did it with like charcoal, like the colored charcoal and stuff, oil pastel, something like that. It felt like chalk almost. I can't remember. Let's just say oil pastel.
Hmm.
Somebody was so moved by it. That was like the first time I've ever made money. Like somebody wanted to pay me for something I drew, and they paid me $50 for it. And they was like,
Hmm.
"I'll give you $50 for it right now." Who walks around with $50 in
Take it.
high school? I was like, "It's yours. Hey, take it right now." And that was just like, wow. I still think about that to this day. Like, wow, I really, made $50 draw some Jordans.
Yeah. I mean, and it be like that. Like that. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff has an impact on your ability to like your own faith in yourself when it comes to doing the like having that like a creative career. Because then you're like, can I make money off of this? Like
Hmm.
people ask themselves that all the time, but like you already have an instance where you did,
Yeah.
and so you're like, you can never say that you can't make money off of it, like because you did.
Right.
And so those types of things help like a ton. And it may even seem like a silly story or whenever we look back on it, but it's like that had a lot of that probably had a lot of effect on like at least your own personal opinion on your ability artistically.
Definitely. For sure.
And I think I'm trying to think of breakthroughs, and I'm not sure if I had a breakthrough moment like that because everything over time just felt very like I had to just climb and earn and like learn and practice. And so I don't think there was anything that would happen that way, but sometimes what I do feel like is some I call it going avatar state because like you kind of have a moment where you do something and it's way better than anything you've ever done before.
Right.
And it's like it feels like when like Aang's eyes glow white and he kind of just blacks out and then you come to and you're like, dang, what just happened? I did that. And I'll have pieces that happen like that. And they usually come through after I take a little break. I might I draw pretty frequently now, just like for work and stuff. But back whenever I was like in high school and like college and stuff, I could go a couple of days or like a week or so without drawing. And I just like kind of hit the ground running and I'm like, man, what was all this? Like, what just happened here? Another really important moment was when I did my first mural festival in the UK. I went out to Bristol to do Upfest. And Upfest is like, at least in terms of numbers, it's the largest mural festival like in the world because they have several hundred participating painting artists and then like thousands of people come out to this event. It's like you would think it's like the World Cup or something. The way people show up for this event, it's crazy. And I met a lot of people there. And I was also there with some good friends. I had a friend of mine, his name is Jack Soren. He's Hawaiian. And I met him down in Miami the very first time. But then I came back and he went back and whenever we saw each other again, it was over there in Bristol because he had got into the mural festival too. And I'm over there with another homie, George F. Baker. He was there and we're like running around Bristol and we got really cool with these guys in Ireland and like we're just kind of just going around and like painting at different places and we had our walls there for the festival. And I remember we all went and got dinner later that night and they're talking about the plans that they have whenever they go back to the States and I got this project and I got that project and I'm flying out here and I'm working with this company and I'm doing this and I'm like and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dang, my artwork has gotten me around this table with like these heavyweights and I'm not even in America. I'm literally overseas with people that are like I think are just amazing at what they do. We're working with some of the biggest brands in the world, doing like living life full time as an artist. And I'm around these people and they're seeing me as like their own. It's not like I'm some apprentice or like an intern or a protege or somebody's son or something. Like I'm there like with them. And I was like, man, my artwork got me here. And it didn't feel like a breakthrough, but it was one of those things where I was really happy with like how far I had come. And
there we go. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, and I still have those moments a lot, but especially there and later on while I was over there, I went over to France. I went to Paris. I wanted to make like a little mini Euro tour or something. I went to Paris for a couple of days after. And I had been learning French for a couple of years. And I met with my language partner out there. And we were like, we're going down like the streets of like Versailles, France. We're going up the Eiffel Tower. We're going to like these different places. And the city is so beautiful. And I'm like, artwork got me here. Like I paid for everything with art money. And I'm like, this is crazy right now. Like, this is insane. So yeah, definitely moments like that is what made me really thankful for like putting in the work. You know, that was huge. Yeah. Or just full circle moments too. I remember the first time I was at a mural festival and somebody introduced themselves to me as a huge fan. And I was like, man.
It wasn't me, but I am too.
It's just crazy because I'm so used to being like when I first started coming around, especially in the city, I was like I was one of the people that people just didn't notice or people didn't know of. And I never took it personally. It's like I'm new. People don't know yet. You know, people don't understand. Like they just don't see. They haven't seen enough from me to really like know and care. And so I'm like, that's fine. I don't mind like earning my place or like being able to like build my own name. But it was just crazy to like see people coming up and like, you know, your work has inspired me to do this and that, and I'm like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Do you have what are some of your goals with like your art? Like, do you want to create a graphic novel, TV show, character on the TV show? You know, like what are some of your goals you hope to accomplish?
So I have a couple of things. I feel like I'm all over the place with it
It's all right.
because
Hey, this is your episode. We try to get as much out of you as we can this first episode. So when you come back, you can give us some
oh
more.
man. Yeah, so I have I was really inspired by this artist named Persuade. Persuade is out in um San Antonio. Or no, not what is that other one? The one in Cali. San Antonio is Texas.
San Francisco,
No, it's
San Jose.
maybe. Is it one of them sands? One of
Yeah,
them sands. It's close to LA. It's like South Cali.
yeah.
It's down there. It's in one of them cities down there, very close to LA. And I think he even will put himself as an LA artist sometimes, so it's close enough. But he has some really cool characters, and he has been able to take these characters around. The most notable of them being this thing called Bunny Kitty.
San
And
Diego.
San Diego.
I
That's what it
had to
is.
look it
That's
up.
what
I'm
it is.
sorry. It's
It'd
gonna
be like
bother me
that.
if I
I got
didn't.
to see it. Yeah, yeah, he's out there, and Bunny Kitty is essentially this cat in a bunny costume.
Mm.
And it's a very simply designed character, but it's it's very like iconic for a lot of people. Like they have plushies and they have hats and bags and shirts and everything with them on it. And Bunny Kitty, he has like a whole story behind what this character represents, where she comes from, what she's supposed to do. And since he has made a line of characters that kind of represent these different values and different people in his life that he takes everywhere. He'll go to different mural festivals and paint these characters, or if he has a brand deal with like Adidas or something, he will deck out a bunch of shoes and hoodies and stuff in his characters. Or I mean, anything he wants to do, he takes these characters with him, and it's really cool that he's able to just to have that. And when people see his work and they see these characters, they're able to resonate with what these characters mean to them. Like they get so hype over Bunny Kitty because they've heard the story that she goes through, and they resonate with it and they enjoy that character. And I remember being able to talk to him one day, and he's like, yeah, like Bunny Kitty and all of her friends have been feeding my family since I was like 30, and I'm hoping that they'll continue to feed them even after I'm gone. And I'm like, that's crazy that you're able to like to build a group or a family of characters that people can really just latch on to. And so for one, I know for a fact that I want to do that, designing like a cast of characters that kind of represent different values of people in my life that people can also enjoy, because
Hmm.
then I can put them on everything and I can just have them kind of grow with me. Now, whether that is across different mediums, I'm not too sure which exactly they'll land in, but I do want to do like I'd love to do a game. I started up programming earlier this year,
Okay.
really last year, but I got into it real heavy like at the beginning of this year,
Hmm.
and made a game. I made like it's a platformer I made with one of my homies, Ty Goodwin, and we made this game in like a week, and it's like a full experience. It was something that I was pretty proud of,
Okay.
and it inspired me to like keep going into game development and stuff. But programming is tough. Programming.
I've talked to a few indie developers, and they will agree with you.
Yeah.
We had one guy. I keep using him, but it just stuck out to me. The homie Snakes. He was
Mhm.
at DreamHack. He didn't have a playable demo, or his game crashed, or no, he had like it. He didn't have a playable demo, but he did have something to show. He's like, I can't go there without a playable demo. He said he stayed up all day the day before just to try to make a playable demo. It's just like the lines of code and all the stuff he had to go through. It was just like, whoo.
Mhm.
So hats off to y'all, man.
Yeah, being able to, because the whole nature of the game jam is like you have like 1 week to do the whole thing. And so there were times as I'm learning going forward, I'm trying to figure it out, but on a normal sense, I'd be like, man, I can't get it. I'll just go to sleep. I'll figure it out later. But with the game jam, it's like, yo, you got a week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're working on something else. So we
Yeah.
gotta be up and figure this out tonight. And very frustrating because I'm like trying to figure it out and like I can't. But it helped me push through those times and it helped me to find solutions. And like the game now, it's like it's very jank, but it works and it's and like it's complete. And I'm like really happy about that.
What's it called?
It's called Wicker's Water Tower.
Okay.
It is about a little knight. He's got a candle head, and he's supposed to make it to the top of this tower so that he can light the shrine at the top before the tower fills up with water. And so you basically want to like avoid getting caught by the water because your flame will go out.
Okay.
And you got enemies in the tower. You're jumping around trying to get to the top. And so there's like a mix of platforming and a mix of like a little bit of combat. You got a sword, you can swing.
Okay.
It's cool. It's got music, sound effects, like it's got the whole package. And so
You have to
it's cool.
you have to send me the link sometime so I can see it. Check it out.
Yeah, I'll link you the itch.io page and you can download it and play it. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
But I'd say that to say like I definitely would like to have a game to make something like that one day because I really, really, really enjoy RPGs and like turn-based combat and like level progression systems. Anything with like a class system, is like I'm a sucker for stuff like if you got like a knight and a tank and like a healer class, I'm like I'm all in. I'm here.
What's your class though? What's your default class?
Man, if it's like real just default like Dungeons and Dragons type stuff, I like the cleric because the cleric has the hammer and the shield. I think that's like the coolest combo for weapons. And then the clerics usually have like enough strength and they also have a little bit of magic.
Yeah.
And so the magic in itself is pretty fun to me because I'm like, I like to be able to fight, but I also want to be able to like throw a fireball if I need to or be able to heal myself. You know? And then a shield. I gotta have defense. Like in every game. I'm not one of those type of people that can sit here and dodge all these little projectiles, and I need to be able to block. I'm gonna protect me. I'm gonna protect you. We gotta be able to like. I'm the one like if it's a bunch of enemies, I'm jumping in the front. I'm like y'all shoot. I'm gonna keep them back. Like that's me. And so I like the cleric. But if we're talking about like just like on some hero shooter types of like Overwatch and like Marvel Rivals stuff like that, I'm tank class because I like
somebody gotta play tank. You feel me?
Yeah,
somebody gotta hold it down.
Absolutely, and I like to be that person. I like to be able to be the one to just tank all the hits, or like I don't like to just be all like. I don't want to be able to just get stiff armed in the game.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're like a little DPS and like somebody can just one shot you, like I need to be like able to take the hit, you know, and be able to. I don't even care if I'm slower, but if I'm stronger, I'm high. Like even in Elden Ring and stuff like that, I'll play just strength where, like most times strength and faith because I still like the magic element, but I'll pick a weapon that's slower but strong. Like I'll sit there and be able to dodge and do what I gotta do to avoid whatever. To where when I do connect, you gonna feel it. I don't want to be sitting there swiping at somebody's leg and you don't even care. I want you to be able to feel whenever I make a connection. So even in Monster Hunter, I play the hammer. You know, like because I want to be able to like when I come around, the monster's like, oh shit, like here he comes. Like he's the one that hurts.
Got you. You like blunt instruments. It sounds like give me a hammer, give me something that can smash something. Y'all keep the swords, but we about to. I got you. I'm with you.
I like to be able to just bash. Even in Overwatch, my main was Reinhardt, like by far too. I looked at my time on Overwatch like last month, and since 2016 when it came out, I had played like I think like 130 hours on Reinhardt alone. And I'm like, I was not playing with Reinhardt. Like I could probably play Reinhardt in my sleep.
That's how like your eyes closed.
Yeah. And it's just it was just like the perfect the perfect amount of like heavy defense. You know, he had like a tanky amount of health. He's not going down easily. He's got a good like attack. You can, you know, and people don't just you're only running up on him if you got a team. You're
Yeah.
not just gonna try to fight him one on one unless you're one of them really fast characters that can kind of bob and weave. But
Yeah.
I just need to connect one time,
That's
man. You're
it.
probably done.
Like a grappler. Don't let me grab you. That's it.
Yeah, you know that's even in Smash. My main is King DDD.
Oh, okay. I
Like,
thought you was about to say Ganon. I was like, oh, man.
oh, I like Ganondorf too. I do like Ganondorf, but King DDD is like the one. Like, if I only got one chance to play against somebody, and I gotta go like Super Saiyan from the jump, I'm choosing King DDD or Ness, but more often than not King DDD. Yeah, I just noticed that all hammers, everything's a hammer.
Man, blood instrument. Hey, no, like as you were talking about it, most people be like, yeah, I'll take me a giant sword, but just like, I need a hammer and a shield. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
They like, you just, I'm just in the front, give me the shield, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay, blood instrument man right here. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
mess with it. It's
and
unique
then
because you don't
even
hear that often.
even like heavier instruments are cool too. Like Monster Hunter, I'll play a great sword too, but it's just I need it to do damage. I can't be playing around with like these little daggers and be hitting for 5 and
Yeah,
5. Like, no, give me something that hits for like 40. Like,
yeah,
I need the chunky one. Like,
yeah,
I only have to hit you like 4 times. It's a little slow, but like I want to be able to see the health go down when I hit
yeah,
you. Like, I want to see it jump
yeah.
down.
You gotta feel this impact. I got you. Trust me.
Yeah.
I've I used to, how everybody kind of gravitates to that, like that main Shoto type of protagonist character. I had started to like the big beefy tank dudes, like the grapplers and stuff. Like, you come over here, it's probably gonna be curtains if I grab you, you know.
Yep. Yep.
So I completely understand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was forced, like you said, playing tank and stuff. A lot of people don't mess with those big beefy characters because they're slow and maybe they don't look as cool. I was like, I can do that. Like, I can do
Yeah.
this.
I kind of like those types of characters anyway, like the ones that aren't quite as cool or like a little bit more weird or like something where it's something off about them or like they're not like the stereotypical cool character, but like you can make them work, or anything that kind of goes against its natural rule of what it's supposed to be. So like I really like when there's exceptions, like if there's like a tank, but the tank is small,
Yeah.
like what makes you a tank? What you got going on? That will intrigue me because then I'm like, how did you like the size of like a chihuahua and you're in the tank class? What can you do?
Right.
And it's usually like some like oddball skill that they have or some interesting power. And so I like whenever characters play off of that kind of like archetype. And yeah, I think even characters that have or even like animals even that have tankier qualities, like I really like hippos and like turtles and stuff. The hippo's skin is like 3 inches thick. And you ever see there's a video on YouTube where there's like lions trying to take down this hippo. And the lion's claws can't even pierce all the way through the skin to break
Yeah.
it. And so you'll just see this hippo and he's just walking like unbothered. And it's like 3 lions on his back and they're trying to claw and bite and they're jumping off his back and he does not care.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
Like,
And
oh, man.
that's so cool. That's how I want to run through like every game. Like if I can just I upgrade defense first, like I want to be able to just tank hits.
I got you. Like, same. Kind of get back to the art real quick. Is there something that like maybe you would want people to know about, like, I don't want to say like your level of fame or nothing, but like something like you want people to know about like the level you've reached with your art that they might have like a misconception about or something?
Yeah, I think that some people think because I'm a working professional that I don't have certain issues or struggles that people who aren't professionals have.
Mm.
Like, there's been so many people that I meet where they're like, I could never do what you do because like I get anxious or because I get shy. And I'm like, you think I don't get anxious?
Yeah.
I get shy of all kind of stuff. And like me, even now, I don't like public speaking. Like
Mm-hmm.
if I have to give a speech in front of anything, like stomach drop immediately. And it does not go away until the speech is over. Like my brother wanted me to give the toast at his wedding. I was his best man, and he told me that months before, and I was just nervous for months until the actual day. And I was like, it was so annoying, so frustrating, and it's part of the reason why I started the podcast. I wanted to become like a better communicator because I think a lot of the struggle in the anxiety that comes from public speaking is that like I don't know what to say or that I'll freeze up because people are quiet because they're listening to me, but then I'm quiet because everybody else quiet. And
Yeah.
now it's just awkward and quiet, and then that drives my anxiety, up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, then I just freeze, and then it just gets awkward and goes
Gotcha.
downhill from there. But yeah, I think when it comes to, I mean, even whenever you get a project and you don't know how you're gonna do it,
Mm.
and you're like, it's not to say that I don't think I can, but it's like you might be like, damn, how am I gonna do this? Or um if you don't know what to do, or if you think just because I can sit down and draw something every time, it doesn't mean that like I didn't have a struggle trying to figure it out. Or maybe sometimes people think like my work was never bad,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, I have so much bad artwork that there was a part of me that there's a part of me that wants to make a post just like full of old art that I think is just really bad,
Mm.
to just show people that like it was not always as cool as people see it to be. It's been itchy. It's
Yeah.
been scratchy before, and it just takes a little elbow grease, it takes some time. And I think that's part of the reason why I started the podcast to begin with, is to like that's why I also interview other professionals to show them like so that I can ask them about things they go through, because people who are coming up, and I want them to feel more connected to the professionals that they look at, because it's they're not much different. These people just put in some work and they just been around, but there's nothing fundamentally different about them, from you. You got ideas just like they got ideas. You got a dream just like they got a dream. They just been at it a little longer.
Right.
But you can get there for sure.
All right. Do you have any like rituals or anything you do before you get started on like a big project or anything?
Not any that I keep for very long.
Okay.
I like the idea of a ritual,
Mm.
and I respect and admire people that can maintain them. But one thing I do, I actually got it from my friend George. He thanks all of his walls that he paints.
Mm.
So personally, like he'll like touch the wall and be like, "Thank you for 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 being here and for taking care of me and for what you'll do for me." And I've started thanking the walls that I paint and the pieces that I make, because it's because of each of these pieces that like my career continues to grow and my name continues to grow. And so I thank them for their contribution to the whole thing.
Mm.
And so that's one that I think I keep pretty consistently now,
Okay.
is just making sure to just thank the projects.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. Years down the line, when people see a Yoyocam piece, what do you hope to kind of, I guess, convey to people through your art, like years down the line, if you thought that far about it?
This one's tough too, because I just started being able to convey myself in my work.
Got you.
And so if anything, that's tough, because right now I'm just kind of diving in on my own human experience.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just made that piece about dissatisfaction, and like making another piece about like the excitement you get when you have a chance to do something,
Mm-hmm.
or even just frustration in dealing with like emotions that come up, or certain things like that. It's the human experience. I'm wanting people to feel more comfortable with being humans
Okay.
instead of like trying to be this thing. I think a lot of people they're focused on like being something, being the noun of whatever it is. So like you ever meet people who want to be an artist and want to be an artist, they want to be an artist, but then like they're not doing any of the work that it takes to be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're just wanting to be the artist.
Yeah.
And it's like instead of trying to be the noun, like I want people to more so do the verb that it takes.
Gotcha.
So it's like you don't have to worry about if you're an artist or not. Just make pictures, and then like that in itself will make you an artist. But if you kind of label yourself as this artist, or anything, then not only do you kind of limit yourself in that way, because then it's like years down the line, if you want to start pivoting into something else, you're having that battle of like, but I'm an artist. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that'll work for me. And it's like just be you, be a human.
Right.
Do what you want to do, go with the whims, and just like learn to kind of play around. Don't take things quite as seriously.
Just so we don't go on too long, because I don't want to take too much of your time.
No, we're all good. This is literally the last thing I have planned to do.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to be sure. I don't want to, they gotta get everybody get to bed and stuff. But it's a little fun question.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You have three items you can use to create a piece. What are you taking?
To create a piece.
Mm-hmm.
What is this piece?
It's whatever you want it to be, but like you can only get 3 items though.
Okay. If it's 3 items to create a piece, I would say shoot, I would do pencil, paper, and like a marker. Like the marker for some color or some shading, pencil for the lines, and then a paper. Like just to have something to do it on. That it's amazing pencil and paper's superiority in my life. Like the way I have messed with all kinds of different paint, all kinds of different markers and pencils and aerosol and airbrush and all kinds of mediums. Nothing beats pencil on paper. Not even sketchbooks beat pencil on loose paper. It is, I will give it, cardstock paper is better than the copy paper because it's a little heavier. But that's S tier. That's S tier art medium right there. Because then you can make that like really nice. Like you can take a pencil and paper and make it like a really nice piece that you can put in a gallery or sell for however much.
Yeah.
But then you can also just use it to like get out your ideas and just play around. It's a little harder to like play around with like oil paint. You know what I mean? But with a pencil and paper, you just communicate. You can write something down real quick. You can sketch out an idea. You can make a piece. You can do whatever you want. It's super versatile.
What advice would you give to someone looking to kind of do what you do?
Do what I do. I keep thinking of all these different parameters of like, okay, well, where they at in their journey and how far along are they? How much do they want to be like me in terms of you just want to have the work I have? Do you want to draw the way I draw? Do you want to live the way I live or whatever? But in a general sense, I would say, like, go slowly. There was a quote I heard from somebody that says, "Slowly is the fastest way." And when I first heard it, I was like, "What are you talking about?" But it makes a lot of sense because you're able to. I've noticed people who have a level of mastery that's like admirable to me. It comes from time. It comes from like a lot of practice and work and things, but it's time. Even when you have somebody who pulls up and they work, they're drawing 10, 12, 15 hours a day and they're going crazy and they're doing all this stuff and they're learning all the things. They're all on the YouTube videos and stuff. You're only going to get so good so fast.
Right.
But those masters, those people who just go crazy and you're like, dang, what do you do? Like, how are you even like this? Those people have been at it for a long time.
Right.
And it takes time for the things that you learn to assimilate into your own habits and into your own interests. And so like even the things that you learn now, if you go and watch 10 YouTube videos about art and you learn these things, they're going to take time for your mind and your body to really make sense of it. Like you might understand it like logically, but it's not going to be until a couple months down the line when you're painting something and then you're like, oh, this is what that person was talking about. I get it. You know, and it's just, so I say just go slow and be all right with building and going slow, because it's like you'll definitely get there. Like, and just, you know, I hate to be that one to like, don't give up, but just go slow. And if you don't see fruit for a while, it's okay. Just keep going, keep watering your plant, keep throwing time at it, you know, you'll get there.
Gotcha. Got two more questions for you. Like I said, I won't hold you too long. Who are, or who is, who was, whatever, some of the people that inspired your art or inspired you as an artist?
Okay. There's some people there's eras to this.
Okay.
So there is the era that is very, very beginning, and that is an old elementary school friend, Chris Apreciabi. Dude was like an amazing drawer. He was the one that made Square Man.
Okay.
And like, he doesn't draw much anymore, but his drawings are like really, really good. And I even have some of his drawings that he let me keep from elementary school and stuff. And I mean, they're solid ideas. And dude was like true creative. It makes me sad that he didn't keep going with the artwork, because I think he'd be phenomenal. Then towards middle school, there's an artist in the Philippines named Lei Melendres. It's like Leilendres, and he makes like this doodle style where he makes a bunch of silly characters and he like jam packs them into like specific shapes. So he might make like the number 10 or something, and it's made out of like 100 little creatures that got stuffed into one little spot.
Okay.
And he's super good. And he introduced me to using like ink, like line work, like markers and stuff like that, little like Copic liners and stuff. I used to watch his videos all the time. He is amazing. Then when it came to the alcohol markers like Copics, Prismacolors, that was Action Hank Beard and Paper Frame. Those two together, I used to want my work to look like them. It wasn't even like I'm trying to be kind of like you. I want this. No, I wanted my work to look like I want to just draw what you draw. And their work was amazing. And I was like, it was insane that they did that with markers. And I'm like, what? This looks like a painting. This is like digital. Right. And it's markers. And it, even to this day, I mean, Nuri's work will like just blow me away. It's incredible.
Yeah, I watched him stream like a piece from blank paper to a finished thing, and I still can't believe it. You know.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah, it's like, and he makes it look so simple. And I think that he was one of the people that encouraged me to like just like to talk about what the things that you do, like not to hold those secrets in terms of like what you use, because Nuri is given everybody all the keys on what he uses, how he does it. You can literally watch him do it right there on the stream, and he's still the shit. Yeah, he still kills it. And it's like, it's not about the secrets you keep. I mean, he's just nice like that. Even if you get everything he's got, you're not gonna do it like him, you know? And so I think that's really inspirational to me. Then as a muralist, there is the Killamari. Killamari is incredible. I just interviewed him yesterday, and that was a lot of fun of an interview. And he reminds me to keep the work fun, like keep it fun. And he's able to just do, like, he makes these crazy designs that like you just looking like, how do you even think of this? Like, how do you put all this together? And I consider myself to be pretty creative, and he has me like, what is this? And then Tristan Eaton. Tristan Eaton is, man, if you haven't seen his murals before, you should definitely look at his murals, because his stuff is insane. It's like collage, but then each part of the collage is a completely different design. Like, he'll do like a portrait, and then it might be like these portrait style, anime style, freaking clay sculpture type style, and it's like, but it's all done in spray paint, and it's
Really?
like, yeah, it's all spray on the
Okay.
wall, and dude's just crazy. His work went to space. He did something with NASA,
Oh,
and
wow.
like he was able to have his work engraved on silver and sent off into space, so that in the event that aliens ever find this, they'll know a piece about humanity. And I'm like, bruh, if my work ever goes to space, can't nobody tell me
Right.
nothing. Can't nobody you're some people are like, oh, I'm a nationally known artist, I'm an internet. Bruh, he's planetary. He's left the surface, he's left the atmosphere.
That's a different type of bragging right there. Yeah, but are you in space though? Okay.
Yeah, like my joint is literally off the surface of the earth. NASA used a spaceship to get my stuff out there, bro.
They
Like
use
that's
your tax money.
crazy. Yeah, that is insane to me. Like, how do you don't beat that? Like how do you? Where are you going?
Literally, Guardians of the Galaxy would have to come and be like, draw something for me.
Yeah, like so if the aliens come back, if the aliens come to Earth and then they're like, yo, who did this?
It's
Who
gonna
did
be
this?
really good or
His
really
work
bad.
is lit. I like, man, his stuff is crazy,
That's
and like
cool.
he definitely check out his work because it's that
Okay.
it's really that good, and he's a nice dude. I
Mm-hmm.
met him once at a mural festival in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude was painting like some Hawaiian like deity, all these different things. I'm like, what are you doing? And like, what is this, bro? He's super nice. He's like, you know, he. I remember I saw him like 2 days in a row, and like he's like remembering certain details of what we talked about the night before, and like asking me how I'm doing and stuff like that, and like just really engaged. And you usually don't get that from a lot of the people way up at the top like that. So just really cool people.
That's cool, man. I'm still shook up about the NASA thing.
Yeah, like I'm gonna send you a link to it. Like they made an article about it and everything. I'll send you a
Okay.
link. It's crazy.
All right, cool.
It went to space.
And
I'm like, bruh. It's like medium is silver, like for real, not acrylic, silver. It's like it had to survive out
right.
there. And I'm like, that's insane. I don't know how anybody's gonna top that.
I couldn't tell you. I could.
He won. He's the main character.
Yeah.
He's Goku.
You're right. New transformation.
Yeah, like crazy stuff.
To wrap up, what does art mean to you? Like from just like overall, like your whole life, the beginning of consciousness to this very moment, what has art meant to you?
Art has always been the thing. It's been around the longest. It's been with me through everything. It was here. I learned to draw before I learned to write, to be honest. And it's like it's just withstood. I've gotten into a lot of hobbies. I did martial arts, I did band, played chess, I did all kinds of different things over the years, but art has always been there. And it's been a safe space for me. It's been a place to release whatever kind of stuff I have on my mind. It's been the thing that houses and feeds me. It's been the way that I make friends. It's the way that it's everything, to be honest. It's like all the most important things in my life have come from this thing. And so it's hard to really put one word on it. It's hard to really say exactly what it means, but it's definitely something just priceless and timeless. And I'm glad that it's able to grow with me. And it's not like something that I have to put down or anything. Like even as an old man, if I get to live to be an old man, I'll be able, hopefully, to still draw even as an old man. It's not like football or something where you kind of max out at a certain point.
Yeah.
You can be 80 and still be shakily drawing something. So I'm just so thankful, and I've always known I wanted to do it too, which I'm thankful for. I know it can be scary for people when they don't know what they want to do in life, and thankfully it's always been here to inspire me. It's everything.
That's beautiful. I like that. Yeah. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on, dropping some wisdom, dropping some knowledge and some stories on us. Don't let this be your last time on here, man. You always more than welcome to come back whenever you want to. It ain't gotta be about art. We can sit here and just chat about wrestling or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, you part of the family now. You made it. I appreciate you. And I got one more thing for you, but it's something you got to do this time.
Okay.
We are tasking you to, who do you think would be a nice guest to have on? And whoever you say, you have to help me get them on here.
Easy. Easy. I got two for you even.
Okay.
But for one of them is George F. Baker III. He's like super great homie, and he does murals and graphic design like me. He does more typography.
Mm,
He does characters as well, but they're more like human characters,
mm,
like in lifestyle, like dancing and like singing and stuff like that, instead of like swords and armor, like how I like to do.
uh,
But he's also a public speaker, and he's just a cool guy, and
mm,
he's got a lot of stories, and I think that you'd have a great conversation with him. And he also loves video games as well,
okay.
and
That's
he put me
perfect.
on to a lot of bangers too, like put me on to Balatro and to another game I forget, but I told him about. I don't know if you know about Vagante. You heard of Vagante before?
It sounds familiar, like I've seen it before, but I'm gonna say no just to be safe.
That's a great RPG,
Hmm.
and it's on everything, I think. Yeah, I know it's at least on Steam and on Switch,
Okay.
but it is like an action RPG. You level up over time. It's kind of like Spelunky in terms of its look, like a dungeon crawler
Hmm.
type thing. But it's a great game if you like those RPG
Okay.
elements. And it's right real time fighting too, not the turn based, right? But
Okay.
it's a great game. It's a roguelike as well. So if you die, you start all the way over. But but yeah, I could send him a message and see when he'd be down, and I know he'd give you a great conversation.
Okay.
And also would like to nominate my friend Dan. He is like my best friend since the 7th grade,
Mm,
and he is an artist like me. He's also an animator,
mm,
and so he does a big fan of Spider-Man and like Marvel
okay.
and comic books and video games. He has like slick addiction to Marvel Rivals.
Mm,
Well, he'll admit it too. And he's really good guy, really
okay.
great conversation. He's got great stories as well.
Okay.
And yeah, and I could literally send him a message as well. They're
Okay.
they're like two of my closest people. So
Got you. Got you. All right. Well, everybody, yo Cam, everybody. Again, Cam, thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate it. Everybody, you guys be blessed and prosperous and have a great night.
yeah.